Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. In today's video, I want to show you why I love my brother Scan and Cut and a little tutorial on how to use it. Now, I am by far from being an expert. I just got mine in December, so I still am on a big learning curve. And what I've done is watch other YouTube videos on how to use it. But what a time saver. These are some Tracy labels that I bought last night that literally I cut out in a matter of minutes. So let me move these over to the side and bring in my mat, and we will cut some out and I will show you how it is done. So here is one of the mats. This is the low tack adhesive mat because believe me, these mats really stick well. Sorry about the sound, but I'm going to pull off this protective cover. And you can tell this is the side that feeds in. This is the side that doesn't feed in. So this is definitely more sticky than this one right now. There's a video on how to re-stick that as it loses its stickiness. So here's my labels that I'm going to cut out. And this is everything that I want to cut out, but I don't need to cut out her branding information. So I'm just going to trim that off because the Brother Scan and Cut will pick all of that up. So that just comes off. And then what you need to do, this is the area where you're going to feed in the mat. That's a little bit of stuff on there. And so what I'm going to do is lay this on the mat and then press it down really good because, again, this side of the mat has lost some of its stickiness. And sometimes it will come up and kind of curl in your machine. Okay, so now that is all stuck down. Now I'm going to turn the camera off and move it to the machine so you guys can see what I do next. So this is my machine, and this folds up, and then this folds down, and this is your tray to be able to feed your mat in. So I'm going to turn on the machine. Let it warm up a little bit. And then let me bring you in further. So I'm going to apologize in advance for the jiggleness because my tripod does not work. So it says the carrier will move to the initial position. Keep your hands free from the carriage. And so I'm just going to tap that and say, okay. So then let me back it out a little bit. So here is where you're going to feed and place. Now there's a little area there and a little area there. This is the blade, and it is self-feeding So I'm going to go over here. This is the feed button. So I'm going to press it, and the machine is going to bring in the mat. So now the mat is adhered to the machine. So now we're going to go here. We want to scan this. We want to hit direct cut. We want to go to the machine, and we want to start it. Now I have my settings here for scanning the 12 by 12 sheet. So I'm going to start it, and it's going to scan in that image. Okay, so it's scanned it in, and you can see what this looks like here. So it looks like it picked it up, and I'm so sorry for all the wobbling. So I'm going to say okay. Now you see all this stuff down here? It is on the mat, so we need to get rid of that. So I'm going to pull this up with the little stylus up to there. That gets rid of that. Then I've got a big mess here. That was also from the mat. So I'm going to bring that down there. And I could bring it in here on this side here. And I think that's okay. So then, because there may be little areas in here that I don't want it to cut, I'm going to hit ignore object size, and it's going to ignore everything that is smaller than what I pick. So I'm going to bring this up. See how it keeps going up? And as I press that to make it go up, some of these things you're going to see disappear. So I'm going to keep pressing that up, because if it's less than 0.63 in height, it will ignore it. Okay, so we're just going to go with that, and we're going to press OK. Now we're going to press OK again, and now we're going to edit it. So we're going to hit edit, and you see how this little red box shows what is going to be cut. That one looks okay. We're going to go to the next one. Now see that? That is the area on the mat that was left behind. I don't need to cut that, so I'm going to hit trash and get rid of that. That's the same thing. That little area there, I don't need to cut that, so I'm going to hit trash and okay. Now that one looks good. That one looks good. And so you just kind of keep going through. I'm hitting the scroll button back and forth to make sure they all look good, and they all do. Now that, I'm not sure. Sorry about the jiggling. Okay, if you need to, you can press that and it will come in closer. Okay, but let's just see how it does right now since the phone is jiggling so much. So I'm going to press OK. I'm going to press OK. I'm going to press OK again. Then we're going to select this area. We're going to cut it, and we're going to hit the start button. Now the machine says it's going to take 4 minutes to cut all of those images. Now this is one of the machines that is an auto blade. So the machine itself tells me, or tells itself, the smart machine, it tells itself how thick the paper is. And so it's going around each one of those images and cutting it out. Now, I want to learn more on how to use this machine to make, you can cut fabric on it. You need, I guess, a special blade. You can cut vinyl on it, just like your Cricut. You can do all kinds of things with it, but this is just my beginning little tutorial for you guys, plus my beginning on how I've learned how to cut on it, but it's definitely so much quicker than fussy cutting. Now, when you fussy cut something like these images, that's pretty quick because those are straight lines. But I'm going to show you in a minute cutting something that has a lot of curves in it and how quick that is. Okay, let's go forward and say, looks like we're about halfway through. And so as soon as this finishes cutting, I will hit that button to take it out of the machine, and then I will readjust my camera onto my desktop, and you guys will be able to see me lift all of these labels up very quickly from the cutting mat. Look at that. It just zips right around each one of those. Now there is a way to add a little border if you wanted a little white border around it. And I will show you that. I should have set the timer to see if it really was 3 minutes, how long it took to cut these. It was probably accurate. Now it's like a lot of machines, it's not 100% perfect, but my fussy cutting is not 100% perfect either. Okay, so it has cut all of that out. And then let's go up here. It says finish cutting, okay. And then now I'm going to press this and it's going to release. And it says, when unloading the mat, position the pattern on the mat may shift from the scanned image. Okay, to continue. Okay, so now that came out. So now, like I said, I'm going to move my camera to the desktop and show you this stuff. So one of the things that I learned while I was watching other YouTube videos, now I'm going to bring my camera to the edge of my desk, and I learned that if you roll it, it will help these things come off and release. But you don't want to bend your mat and leave a crease in it. So see how that kind of helped release them? I'm going to pull this up. Pull this all the way off. And there's all of my images cut out. Sorry about the jiggling of the camera. So then all you have to do is take this little rubber spatula and go under each one and pull those up. Can you believe how quick that is? Each one of those just comes off so beautiful. I mean, to cut a circle, unless you have a circle punch, that is difficult. I had held off buying these Tracy labels for the longest time because I have some labels from my Creative Studio box, but they didn't have anything printed on them or written on them. And I would put them on a project and they just didn't look quite right, but I hadn't taken the time to actually stamp something on them. Look at beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to move this out of the way and I'm going to show you something. Now, I'm not quite sure why those did not cut. You know, maybe it didn't pick it up and then I missed out on seeing it. But to me, that is no big deal. I will just fussy cut those out myself. That is easy enough for me. So I've added another sheet of Tracy's labels onto my cutting mat, and I'm going to take it over to the machine. And this is where we left off before. So now I'm going to go to the home button, and it's going to ask me, do you want to delete the patterns? And I'm going to say yes. There's other times when you don't want to delete the patterns. So again, I'm going to lay my mat in between those two little slots right here. And I'm going to press this button to feed it in. Ooh, sorry, my thumb is there. It's going to feed it in and catch it. So now I'm going to go to scan. I'm still going to do direct cut to the machine. I'm going to say okay, but I'm going to want a little border on it. And now that's scanning that in. You have to have enough room. Now see how that kind of lifted up? After a while, your mats kind of don't stick very well. So I'm going to turn the camera off, use both hands, and stick that down better. Okay, what I did is just press down on that paper of labels that I'm going to cut out. I did not remove it and re-stick it. If I had done that, I would have had to re-scan it, but I didn't want to do that. Okay, so there's our image. We're going to say over here, okay. And then we want to get rid of all of this stuff that is just on the mat. The machine is pretty smart. It picks up a lot of stuff. I'm going to come up here and bring this down. Okay, now I cut off this edge here. So I need to bring this back a little bit. Yeah, okay. So then I'm going to say ignore object size, which means, again, these little things right here that are tiny, I'm going to increase the size and then it will not cut those. You're going to see up in here, those are going to disappear. Okay, and then we're going to say okay. and then okay, and then we want a little bit of a border on these ones, so I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to add just a small little distance around them. It won't cut right up to the line. Then I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go through each one of these. Now see, that's that little area that is on my mat that is just cut lines. I'm going to delete that. That one looks good. I'm going to start going through these. And you can see it's cutting them out quite nice, or it's going to. Again, we can zoom that in and see, you can see it a little bit better. You can bring it down. I'm going to keep going through it. And I really probably, okay, so that, let's see, let's go back. I thought I saw something. Okay, did that? I think that's going to be okay. It may kind of, because I put that little border, it may impede in between them. I don't think so. Now see, I think this one's going to kind of cut funky, but that's okay. If I need to, sorry, I can just repeat and cut them again. Let's just do that. So we're going to say okay. I'm going to press okay. I'm going to select that area. It looks okay. I'm going to hit cut. Whoop. I'm going to hit cut. And the start button. And it's going to start cutting. It says it's 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, just see how this is kind of lifting up? I'm just going to hold my fingers there and hold that down a little bit. I think it's going to be okay because it'll start cutting here and then start going through. So I'm going to turn the camera off while this cuts this, but you can see how quick that is. It's just going around each one of those images, and then I'll show you them after it's done cutting them. Okay, it's finished cutting them, and so once again, I'm going to bring it to the edge of my desk and just do a little bit of a roll. That helps it release. I'm going to lift this outer paper off. And once again, I'm not quite sure why those didn't cut, but no big deal. Again, fussy cutting those will be quick. So you just pull these up. And you see how, because I said that I wanted a little bit of a border, that gave me that border there. A couple of these didn't cut either. And again, I don't know why, but to me, that is not a big deal to be able to go in with my pair of scissors and cut that. Now, I had lost my little spatula. So just again, just so quick. I love this machine, and I want to play with it more and learn more about it. So do you see how that gave a little bit of a white edge around it? No big deal, no big deal. I can, if that bothers me, I can just use my little dauber and cover that with vintage photo. But anyway, that is my quick video on why I love my brother's Scan and Cut. And I'll upload this video, see how long it is, and then I might do the one where it has all the curved edges. We'll see. Now these are some of Rachel's labels, and I've scanned them in, but if you look real close right here, it says it looks like it's gonna cut it there. And it's going to kind of cut it kind of funny here. You see those dark lines? That's not picking it up correctly. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. So in that same area on the actual printout, this was the area that it was going to have a problem with. Let me go back up here. It's that image right there. And see how that, it looks like it's gonna try to cut it funky. So again, I came down here with just a little pencil mark and marked that off. So then what I'm going to do is go back to the machine itself. I'm going to just say okay. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is go to the home button and rescan it. So let's try again. So scan. We are rescanning this since I added those things. It's rescanning it now. Let's see if it's better this time. We're going to say okay, and we're going to bring up this stuff to get rid of that. That's actually on the mat. I'm going to go down to there. It still looks like there's a couple of spots, but let's do ignore object size and see if we can get rid of those. We're going to press OK now, and we're going to press OK again, and then we'll edit it. Edit. So it looks like it cut that one out. It's going to cut it out. Okay, let's go to the zoom here. And then the down button. Okay, that looks like it's going to be okay. We'll see. We'll go to the next one. That's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. Okay. Now there, that is an area that I wasn't able to delete. So I'm going to put that to the trash. And then that area where it's red, I'm going to get rid of that. Then that looks okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So it looks like we're going to be okay. So we're going to press OK. OK. We're going to select our area. We're going to cut it. Press the Start button. And it says, sorry about that, it says it's going to cut all of those in 2 minutes. Look at that blade go around those. Now I'm telling you, I would not be able to fussy cut those out that fast. No way. really can't wait to learn more on how to use this machine. It just takes time and watching other YouTubers and what they've learned. I wish companies had manuals out, like in the olden days when you actually got a printed copy of a manual and you could refer to it. Last one. Okay, so we're going to go back up here, press OK, it's finished cutting, and we're going to release it out of the machine, and I'm going to take it to my table. So just like before, I'm going to run it over the edge. Look at that. Look at those peel up. Over the edge, it helps them release. I'm going to lift up the outer paper, and you can use your little spatula if you need. Now, I had stuck it closer to this edge than this edge because this is stickier, because I noticed it was starting to lift up. Look at that. Look at that. Now, is that not fantastic? I'm telling you, this machine is the cat's meow. Look at that. All those beautiful labels coming up so nicely. Now this one, it kind of cut it funky, okay? That was one of the ones that maybe I had put the pencil mark on, but that's okay. It's, you know, it's only paper. It can be fixed. I can reprint them if I need to. Once again, this is why I love my brother Scan and Cut. There's a couple that didn't quite cut out perfectly, but to me, no big deal. I can fussy cut kind of around there and make it just a smaller label if I need to. So real quick, I just wanted to show you one thing to see if it's going to work out. I recently, well actually just this afternoon, I got this book in the mail from Patty Lang from Sacred Mementos. And if you notice, it's got lots and lots of birds, and a lot of them are quite small. So I wanted to just check it out and see if they cut on my brother Scannon's cut. So I did just like I had done before. I'm going to roll them over the edge to release them. And let's see how they turned out, to see if that brother Scan and Cut. Yes, look at this. This is fantastic. Look at how those birds just cut beautifully. I'm going to set them over here out of the way. But can you imagine? You could not do that with a pair of scissors. And literally, it took minutes for me to do that. It's just, look at that. Look at that end right there. I love this machine. Now this one did not cut out completely. It didn't see it. No big deal. Everything else is cut out. I can just go in here and cut those out. I think what was the issue when I was cutting out Rachel's images, there was kind of muted or pale colors. Look at how bright these colors are. So again, look at how perfect. And that is a small page. I love my brother's scan and cut. It's so fantastic. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that if you're contemplating buying a brother's scan and cut, do your research, go out and watch lots of different YouTube videos and see if it's something that you feel like you can have in your craft room. And I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks and bye-bye.